Hi everyone, my name is Megan Martinez and I'm currently enrolled in SPCE 682 Section 814 with Professor Trinkle. Today is February 23rd, 2025, and I'm going to begin by shuffling my deck of cards 3 times and cutting it down the middle. 1, 2, 3, cut it in half. I'm going to hold the cards so the definitions facing me, terms facing the camera. I have a 1-minute timer set on my phone, and with that being said, I'm going to get started now. Prompt hierarchy, in which the first level is independent, no prompt, least to most prompting. Extent to which a treatment is fair, reasonable, appropriate, unintrusive, and likely to be recommended to others. Treatment acceptability. Quantitative marker to judge if the individual learned a specific behavior. Mastery criteria. Teaching strategy that eliminates or minimizes responding to incorrect choices. Errorless learning. Structured method utilized to identify highly preferred items or actions that can be used as reinforcers to keep motivation levels high when teaching. Preference assessment. Individuals with ongoing and direct contact with the target client. Stakeholder clients. Demonstration of appropriate responses or behaviors, typically demonstrating the skill the individual should perform. Pass. Okay. That's my timer. I'm going to continue through the deck. Contingent access to higher probability behavior reinforcers, lower probability behavior. Pre-MAC principle. Small group activities with a defined area, activity theme, roles incorporating typically developing peers, and adult scaffolding as needed to support the learner. Structured playgroups. Involve instruction of a single exemplar or program with 0 to 8 seconds between trials. Mass trials. Varying non-critical aspects of instruction. Train loosely. Whoops. Procedural form of extinction that involves simply ignoring behavior. This would only be effective in eliminating the behavior if the behavior is maintained by attention. Planned ignoring. Objects, pictures, or symbols that are used to provide info about an activity, expectation, or routine may be paired with or used in place of vocal cues. Visual supports. Set of evidence-based strategies used to increase quality of life and decrease challenging behavior by teaching new skills and making changes to a person's environment. Positive behavior support. Imitation training procedure, which capitalizes on delayed imitation to evoke an imitative response in the presence of an SD. Video modeling. Intervention strategy, in which peers are trained, supervised, and monitored to implement interventions. Peer-mediated interventions. Behavior analysts establish a signed service agreement that is regularly reviewed with clients and relevant stakeholders, clearly defining responsibilities, the scope of services, adherence to professional standards, and procedures for addressing complaints. Service agreement. Play in which children are able to use objects to represent other things. Symbolic play. Child playing next to another child engaging in a similar activity without direct social overtures. Parallel play. Requires a verbal SD, which is followed by a nonverbal response, LR, learning response. Listener response. Ugh, I know what it means. Includes a determination of whether the resources and supports who are able to provide training to supervisees required for intervention to be implemented are present in the situation. Feasibility. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy. Planned activity check, observation system in which the observer counts the number of individuals engaged in a behavior during a particular interval of time. PLA check. Procedure in which access to reinforcement is removed or reduced contingent on unwanted behavior with the goal of reducing the rate of the response. Timeout. When the client does not possess the skill to perform an expected response. Skill deficit. Exists when the client is able to perform the skill but chooses not to do so due to insufficient contact with reinforcement in the environment. Performance deficit. Interdependent group contingency implemented in the classroom setting that was designed in the 1960s. Teams of students compete against each other to win rewards. All teams meeting the set criteria can win. Pass. When a client is no longer demonstrating measurable progress on an observed skill. Plateau. Involves instruction of acquisition tasks interspersed with mastered tasks with typically short intertrial intervals. Pass. I can't remember. Process by which a person takes control over their own life. Self-determination. Prompt hierarchy, in which the first prompt is the most intrusive of prompt needed to ensure correct responding, most to least prompting. Involves the process of self-monitoring through which one reactively changes one's own behavior. Self-management. Typically includes an analysis of the quality, quantity, and consistency of the literature related to either the effectiveness of the treatment across population or the effectiveness of any treatment for one given population. This is like a systematic review. Teaches learners to engage in conversation by talking about things that are not present and not being requested. Fill-ins are often used, but transfer procedures may better promote generalization. This is, pass, I can't remember. When behavior happens in the presence of a new stimuli or setting. Stimulus generalization. Specifying a performance quality and or level to be attained, often by a particular time. Goal setting. An overcorrection procedure in which the individual repeatedly practices a positive alternative behavior used when there is no environmental disruption. Positive practice overcorrection. Can be implemented by capturing or contriving established operations and presenting prompts as needed. Man training. Shared attention, an important skill for young children to master that serves as a prerequisite for many social skills. Joint attention. Discriminative stimulus that sets the occasion for a desired response. Prompt. Involves an individual learning to respond to stimuli which are similar to one another. Generalization. Behavior analysts use language that others can comprehend to explain their services and how they will be implemented. Pass. I always forget this one. Similar to a behavior cusp, a behavior that is learned produces change in other adaptive untrained behaviors. This is pivotal behavior. Behavior analysts implement behavior change interventions that are anchored in behavioral and scientific principles, use assessment results and positive reinforcement, and are culturally responsive. Selecting, designing, and implementing behavior change. Oh my gosh, it's so long. I can't remember all of it. Something like that. I don't know. I gotta keep working on this one. Reinforcement strategy designed by William Jensen, in which the students earn tokens points to access reinforcer but does not know when or what will be accessed. Often use an invisible marker, can be implemented with individuals or groups. Mystery motivator. Make the instructional and natural setting as similar as possible. This is program common stimuli. Involves stimulus presentation by instructor, learning responding, consequence, and interval between trials. Learner can respond only when presented with opportunity for response. Discrete trial training. Systematic and gradual fading of intrusive prompts, discriminative stimuli, or cues designed to shift control to the stimulus. Stimuli designated to evoke the response. Fading. Hybrid of the systematic and narrative reviews. Experts often offer suggestions when insufficient evidence is available. Pass. I don't know. Reinforcement is delivered for a functionally equivalent communicative response while placing less desirable behavior on extinction. FCT, functional communication training. The practice of self-reflection and learning from others to honor their beliefs, customs, values while addressing any personal biases. Cultural humility. An early play milestone that includes simple play acts to play with toys as intended, such as puzzles, cars. This stage generally correlates with first words. Functional play. Individual instructional strategy that focuses on building fluency, charting, acceleration, and reinforcement. Precision teaching. Embrace the participants' values, expectations, traditions, and ideas. Cultural match. When a behavior continues to happen even after teaching has stopped. Maintenance. The extent to which alternative explanations that are not that the independent variable for changes observed in the dependent variable are ruled out. Pass. I don't know. Should be made with stakeholders and should drive the process for treatment selection. The goals should be prioritized. Okay, this is just a treatment goal. I know this one. Behavior analysts, I'm going to stop right there. Pass. I don't know. It's too long. Response which have been reinforced in the past in the presence of a specific antecedent are said to be under stimulus control. Stimulus discrimination. Skills required to have in repertoire prior to teaching novel skills. Prerequisite skills. That's all my cards. Thank you for watching.